We bring in the studio this morning one of the gay rights activists, Mr. Should I call you Mr? Sure. Pepe Julian Ozema. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for
Good morning.
Morning to you.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay. You are a transgender.
What shows that I'm gay?
You are a transgender, yes, and you're a gay rights activist and an outspoken lesbian, homosexual. How can I describe you?
Where do I lie? I'm a transgender person.
Transgender. You were initially male or female?
The sex that was assigned to me at birth was female.
And you opted to become male?
Not exactly opting. It's something that I have been.
You realigned yourself into being a male, or you still share both sexes?
I am within transition.
Now we're looking at the raging debate. You're a gay rights activist. Why should someone be gay? So as we stand today, are you dating any female?
Yes, I am.
You have a girlfriend?
Yes, I do.
Do you perform the natural obligations?
I'm not sexually active right now.
So what are you doing with this lady?
By choice. I've just not, I've chosen not to engage.
Doesn't that make you gay?
What do you mean, doesn't that make me gay? I am male and attracted to a female.
So who is gay? As a human rights activist, what do you think of gays? Are they normal? Is it normal to be gay? Do you feel you deserve sympathy when whatever you're doing is very unnatural? Biblically and socially, naturally, it's unnatural.
Simon, you're seated with me right now. Yes. How unnatural is that?
Well, it's natural, but I'm just baffled.
Our nature is actually...
How many people are you speaking for?
I'm talking about Ugandans. I'm speaking as a Ugandan. I'm speaking as a Ugandan.
And how many Ugandans are into this practice?
What do you mean practice?
Okay, this culture. Don't you think gays, homosexuals, lesbians, transgenders should instead be reoriented? How do you feel when two men go to bed and start romancing? How do you feel?
That is none of my business. What they do in their privacy is none of my business.
Pasta Sempa online, an anti-gay activist, to tell us his side of the story. Hello, Pastor.
Yes, good morning, everyone.
Good to have you online. How are you today?
I am doing well. First, I'm really extremely distressed that we are not having the anti-sodomy bill passed in Parliament, as this daughter of ours, Pepe, and so much money is being powered into the country.
Pepe is a man.
Unfortunately, Pepe is a young woman who is suffering from gender identity disorder. She is a girl who has been misled and confused to think she's a man. And so you can see the way she's dressing, the way she's coming across, is trying to be a man. But you know, Pepe, for me as a psychologist, I know that there are people, we have so many young girls who suffer from this. It is a disorder, and some of these people, they press their breasts, or they go and get their breasts cut off, they cut their hair, then you end up with a pretty-looking young lady who is acting like a man.
Pastor.
Yes.
Why don't you sympathize with such people who do not opt, but who are naturally, according to Ozema, he feels it's a natural calling for them to be men, or for him to be what he is now?
There is nothing natural about using boya and biringanya in your private parts. There is nothing natural about putting a man's genital inside another man's excretory system. There is nothing natural about Ozema be denying us a chance to have children and grandchildren. There is nothing natural at all about sodomy. It is a genocide. And when you add sodomy to HIV, you come up with a black genocide of Africans. There is nothing natural. This is a boy, this is a girl trying to act like a boy. But you know, a trouser does not make you a man.
Pastor,
And
can I ask you to stay online? Then we hear from Ozema. Ozema, could you react to Pasta Sempa?
No, I
He
will
sounds
not.
very abrasive.
I will not. I choose not to react and give Sempa audience.
Do you
please,
feel
you see,
offended?
she's afraid of the truth.
Do you feel offended?
The truth is, this is a young woman who is confused to think that she's a
Pastor,
boy.
why don't you sound
Okay.
sympathetic to a man who seems to be going through a transition of sorts?
Ozema, I will tell.
Oh, sorry, we lost you along the way. Pastor Sempa is back online for just a couple of minutes.
Simon,
For just a couple
Simon,
of minutes,
Simon,
please.
Simon,
Hello,
Simon.
Pastor. Yes, you're back. But Pastor, could you kindly be sympathetic towards Ozema?
I don't need Sempa's sympathy. I don't.
Sympathy for this girl who's confusing us. Ono muwala abuzabuza ffe. Okusooka njagala okubuulira abantu bonna abawuliriza mu
If what you're doing is natural, do you intend to have kids?
I do want children.
How can you get children?
Can we just not
Biologically, please.
We
We're
can
not
get children.
vulgarizing the show, but I want you to tell me how you can get a child when you're interfacing or when you're having intercourse with a fellow man or a fellow woman.
Is there only one way to have children? Is there only one
Yes,
way?
there is.
Really?
Yes, there is. Do you realize that you've received overwhelming moral disapproval from society?
Absolutely, I do.
Yeah,
Is
because
there?
society doesn't approve of whatever you're doing at the moment.
What do you mean? So I shouldn't be dressed because of that?
For homosexuality.
I told you I'm a human rights defender. And I see Pastor Sempa has come here. When I agreed to come to this show, I spoke to you.
I'm sorry, it's just
He
storming.
he cannot just storm in. So if he storms in, I storm out. Thanks for your time. I cannot go on with this debate
Before you
anymore.
go, do you recognize these things?
Pepe, I'm sorry, can you give me a minute?
Pepe, do you recognize some of these things here? These are some of the things they use. I want to give you evidence. You see,
Pastor, aren't you being too harsh to these people? Why
so
for once
Sokoleke
can't you relax
Kankugira
and
ebintu
then
bino bye bakozesa.
think about the
Adduse
pain they
kan-
go through as
Kanso-
society ostracizes?
She thinks she's a man, but she does not have the equipment to be a man. So what do? To be able to try and penetrate the other person, they use carrots, bakozesa carrot, ochirap, bakozesa amatoke.
I think you're being a little
No. Bakozesa mbogoya. Bakozesa bino bichukamba. Nze mbadde mulago. I am a counselor. For many years I counsel people like her. When I counsel them, I discover that they have problems. Some of the problems is when you use something like this. So when you use something like this and you put it inside you, you rip your urinary tract areas. When they put it inside there behind, ngabola ba Chris Mubiru. Abana bayulika chetuva tukiita okuvuga olupanga.
But this is a disorder, right?
If
If it's a disorder,
yes.
Do you feel you're handling it the right way?
Yes.
Or you're being too aggressive, too harsh on them?
No.
I'm glad Pepe is back.
I'm glad she has got.
Can you
courage.
shake hands before we proceed?
Of course. How are you, Pepe? Nsaba mukama amanyi go gayingira omwana wa fono.
Pastor, no.
Kamusabire ko olwadda yagala.
No. Pastor, let's maintain civility on the show. Let's maintain civility. Let's maintain civility. Pastor Sempa argues that these are the instruments you use.
These are vegetables.
Yes.
Bino.
I eat this
Yes.
on my plate.
You eat them on your plate.
Yes.
You don't use them when you're having carnal knowledge.
Absolutely no, and Sempa should stop misinforming the public.
Kati ono alimba. Me, I'm a counselor. I've counseled many of these. First of all, they start in secondary school.
Why don't you start with counseling other than being confrontational to this young man?
This one is an evangelist. This is a missionary of sodomy.
Pepe,
Just translate what
Pepe,
the stuff is saying.
You are paid heavily to promote homosexuality in Uganda. What's your reaction?
It is not true. He claims I have a lot of money, I'm wearing fancy clothes and all that stuff. I do not even earn the amount of money he thinks. I do not even earn $100 a month or even annually. I do not make the money that he thinks that we make.
Do you believe that there's been sexual abuse, actually sodomy, unleashed towards kids, towards underage children, and towards the vulnerable?
Propagated by my work.
Yes.
There is no such thing.
What's your work? What's your work? What does your work entail?
It entails advocacy around sexual orientation and gender identity. And this...
Let me help you, sir.
I do not need...
I'm glad she's talking about for everyone. It's a she. You see, this one is a banana.
Don't abuse someone's sex.
I know her.
This gentleman is a transgender.
She's a female. There are no two. It is either male or female. Let me first tell you, sodomy is about confusion. Now, I want to bring you to speed. This person is confused, and she's exporting her confusion. She's a woman, but she's thinking, excuse me, Phil, I've given you a chance. You see, a banana is different from a cucumber. A carrot is different from a banana. I want you to understand. You cannot equate. No, these are not equal. So for you to say we are advocating for everyone's right. When you are a sodomite, you are committing a crime. And a crime that makes you social, excuse me.
They have a right.
No. You have a social obligation. This is a truth. You have a social obligation when you commit a crime. If you knock someone, you commit a crime. So for you to come and say, we want to advocate for anyone's right, criminals and innocent people, they are not the same. Men and women are not the same.
Now, Pastor, so have you been affected by what they do?
Of course.
How?
I am at Makerere. These people have begun several organizations. First of all, the Americans and the Europeans are putting a lot of money in the faculty of law to train people like this one in how to come and speak. Now she's going to go back and ask for money. Again, I could die, but
not homosexuality.
I
do human rights. Protect life.
You ask sodomy, she said human rights. We said sodomy, she said gay. We ask Ebisiaga, she says sexual minorities. Confusion of the highest order. This girl needs to be told she's a girl. This young girl needs to be told she's a woman, not a man. What tribe are you, by the way? What clan are you? Tachimanyi asirise. Do you have fathers and grandfathers?
Of course it does.
Tachimanyi tagana chidamu chimuswaza. What is your tribal name?
What's
Yes, in the black people, we have ancestors and descendants. They're living today, provide grandchildren for our ancestors. This young woman is denying her members of the family a chance to have children. In Africa, that is so bad.
Pastor,
not equate, a carrot with a banana. And I want this young woman to explain to you.
Let's give him a chance.
What does she use for sex? What do they use for sex? What do you use? What do you use for sex? As a man,
stop insulting my food.
You see, they have opened court cases against me. They have spoken evil against me. They have called me.
We do not have a court case against you.
They threaten death. I've received death threats. Americans want to bomb me.
Do you have gadgets that you use during intercourse?
No, I don't.
Okay. Do your colleagues have gadgets they use during intercourse?
I don't know. That's their private life. I do not know.
We have videos, but they are rather gothic. I wouldn't show them on TV. They are horrible.
These people come here and they tell us that what they do is something that is normal. Okay? They try to equate heterosexuality with homosexuality as if it's vanilla and ice cream of chocolate. They are not. I want to tell you that using a gadget, which is why she's afraid. Most of you see, she says, you see, these are when you take a man, this is a man's genital, and you insert them into the intestine. Okay, they put their genitals into the excretory system. This excretory system is not designed to receive. It is only for exit. Chinechenda we bachikurusanya nechiyulika nechitirika omusaayi nechiryoka kitambuza obulwadde. That is for men. For women, what they do is they begin their sexual acts, because she does not have the equipment, they begin to use their lips. So the mouth is used to lick the other person. That's number one. It created orogonorrhea. Many lesbians have orogonorrheas, orosyphilis. Number two, because they don't have the equipment, they begin to use gadgets like bananas. They use carrots. They use bananas. They use cucumbers and other metallized ones, and they put them inside themselves. Because they are not normal.
Let me tell you, Simon, as I am here, my family supports me.
Are they supporting a disorder?
I have a name.
What is the tribe?
I refuse to tell you.
Anti-gay activism.
No, me, I'm not an anti-gay. Me, I'm anti-sodomy. Nagano kulimbibwa. Gay is being happy. Me, I'm gay. I'm happy. But this is the confusion. They say to be a sodomite is to be happy. No, me, I'm anti-sodomy.
Why don't you fight for heteros as well?
What do you mean?
Heterosexuals.
What do you mean? Fight for heterosexuals.
What
do you mean fighting for heterosexuals?
For their rights. Yeah, for their rights.
They are so. I am a human rights defender.
I'm
not limited.
Sodomy defender.
You are an activist for LGBTI. Lesbians, gays, bisexuals, transgender, and intersexuals.
Let me tell you something.
Where's the H?
Human rights.